connect to that grounding energy. And then maybe just bring the knees in as we exhale. Inhale, lengthen the arms, push the knees away so we feel the weight coming to the coccyx, the very base of the spine. So it's really good to connect to that base chakra, grounding chakra. So exhaling, draw the knees in, bend the elbows. Maybe lift the head, chin to chest, round the spine up, just to curl the spine. Breathe out what we don't need. And then inhale, very gently, let the knees come away and the head come down. So we're going to do that a few times in your own breath rhythm. If you don't want to lift the neck, please don't worry about that. But on the inhale, we feel the ribs expand, so the back body, the side, the front, the head comes down. On the exhale, we squeeze up, breathe out from the lower lungs, squeeze up like a rolling little tube of toothpaste from the bottom, push all the breath out, all that stale energy, used energy, like breathe out. As we inhale, the knees come back. Just a few more times and I will try not to talk so you can feel into your body. Breathe all the breath out. And then inhale. Lengthen the hair down to the earth. Tuck the chin slightly. Maybe pause here. And again, we'll let the weight rock from side to side. Keeping the knees over the hips. We feel the weight, the body onto the back body. Just feel a nice massage. Let the earth connect to the body. Support it. And just gently rocking. Circle the knees in and round. So we're just feeling how the back body feels, the side body, the mid body, very gently. Knees in, into the direction. Now if this feels really good, we want to go a little bit stronger, our arms can come out to the side, we're going to gently rock from side to side. So the knees can be right into the body. If our back isn't so good, the feet can be on the ground. But it feels okay, the stronger version is knees over the hips, feet are flexed. And we use our arms and hands as stabilizers, the palms to connect into the earth. And we're just going to rock slightly more to the sides. We start to feel the tummy, the abdomen engaging. Inhale to center. And exhale to the side. Just really feeling our way into a twist and not rushing anywhere. Just feel a nice stretch down the back body as we just let the knees come further over the hips. Maybe pause a little bit and we inhale. So we're still combining the breath and the movement. Keeping the mind centered here. And then as the body starts to warm up a little bit more, and there's no forcing or pushing, we can let the knees come further to the side. Hover from the ground, inhale to center, exhale to the side. And again, if you want to, we can just experiment here with the legs away, circle the knees quite long, and then draw the knees back in and over the hips. So a circular motion, but if this feels too strong, it's much stronger on our back, then don't lengthen the legs along here. Keep the tummy button drawing in. Use the breath. Inhaling over, exhale, tummy draws in, circle the knees. We can lengthen a little tiny bit or a lot. Change direction. And again, make this your flow, your movement, your pose. Work with what your body needs. So a little bit of a movement with the knees or a longer, lengthening the legs, tummy drawing in. But make sure we use all the connections of our hands, the arms, our shoulders to the earth. Changing direction, it feels nice. And then when it feels good, let the knees come over to the left and let them land into a twist. So we're going to make sure the shoulder blades are connected, so the left shoulder blade rolls over a little bit. And we're going to find a twist here. So we can have the knees quite high up to the side of the body. We can use a pillow or support between the knees or under the legs. If it feels twingy on our back, let the knees find that comfortable place. We're still twisting the spine, but we're not putting any pressure undue pressure on the back. So we can put something between the legs if that feels we need to. The knees are quite high and it feels a good idea. We can come to that twisted root where we lift the knees, cross the right thigh over the left thigh, and then just maybe wrap the foot around the lower leg. I like to bring my foot back to the centre to lift my hips up, and at the left hip come down. And again, we can use support again under this these knees as they come to the left. So if we need support and we put the support there, it allows the spine and all the muscles in the back to relax and release. If we kind of put pressure around here, then the body can't lengthen and relax. And then when we find our position, the palms can rotate to the sky. So we open the heart, shoulder blades connect to the earth. And then the head can pick up and turn the head in the opposite direction. So again, ringing out all that used energy in the body, but also all the strain and stress of all that hard back bending work we've been doing in the garden. Just let the back relax in a gentle twist. So again, focus on the breath out and wait for the body to chill out, relax into the pose. And then maybe want to move the support away a little bit, just use a lower support. Noticing around the shoulders and neck, if we feel there's any gripping or tension going on, then we don't have to let the head turn and twist. We can move the arms, we can change the twist. And then we're going to inhale, draw the knees back to center, unravel the legs, realign the hips nice and slow, come back to neutral. Again, we can move our supports onto the side ready. We're going to pause here, just in neutral, hands to tummy, and just rock the hips forward and backwards. So as we exhale, the tummy draws in and the tail tucks up. And as we inhale, the tummy rounds, the lower back arches, that lumbar, natural curve in the spine, lumbar lordosis, the lumbar spine curves. And exhale, tummy draws in, round that lumbar lordosis spine, and the tail tucks up, just to lengthen, check in with the hips, the back. And then we're going to rock from side to side. So the hips roll, the left hip to the ground, and then the right hip just gently rocking from side to side. If you want to do it, move in a circular motion, that circular motion. So it's incorporating the forward and backwards and the side to side. Change direction. Noticing how this feels. I think as we get used to the motion, the movement, it gets a little bit easier. It's a bit strange at first. And then we'll come back to neutral, arms back out to the side. And again, we're going to come to a twist. So if we want to keep the feet on the ground quite wide, just let the knees flop to the left, right, we can do. Or bring one knee up, other knee up. And again, we'll just gently start the rocking from side to side. And you might feel now that we feel more, the body feels much warmer, much more awake, and we can let the rocking from side to side go a little bit deeper. Knees can be apart and knees can be together. I find a bit more of a stretch on my knees together, but we're all different, so a little play with that. And then if you want to, we're going to come over to the right side, landing on the right side. And whatever twist feels right here, we can use supports. If the knees are further down, we have a stretch around the lower back. If the knees are quite high, stretching more on the thoracic region, around the spleen and the liver. So if you want to put supports between the legs, you can do, or under the legs. If you're feeling quite comfortable here and you want to go to the next level, we can come to that twisted route where we come up left thigh over the right side, as high up as we can get it, wrapping over. And then we might find the lower legs wrap around. Bring the foot to the centre, lift the hips, come onto the right hip. And again, supports underneath the knees, just to let the spine relax. So it just lets the lower body relax. We can isolate the upper body. And then we can use the elbows to shuffle the right shoulder blade over. Let the arms come out to the side. And then just breathe and soften here. So notice if the neck feels uncomfortable. We don't have to turn the head in the opposite direction. Just find what feels good for you. Big breath in. Big breath out. You may slightly want to move the supports a little tiny bit, slightly lower. See how that feels, and if there's any kind of gripping or sort of a gripping sensation and a holding on, then maybe just bring the supports back under. We want to be able to let the body relax, so all these muscles that run down the back body, just release. Inhaling, exhaling. And if we change the cushions, just then readjust the shoulder blades if we need. And then very, very slowly, we're going to come back to center. So lift the knees and wrap the legs around the feet. Bring the hips back in line, the shoulders back in line. Hands back onto a tummy. And again, just gently rocking, very gently forward and backwards. Just rechecking in. It's often in the transitions between one pose and the other that we don't focus, we're not thinking, we're not focused on the body. And that's when we get strains and injuries. And then from side to side. So with me, when I ground one hip, the other hip lifts, but that might not happen with you, but that's what happens with me. And then we're going to combine the circle, so the tail, the hip, the lower spine, the hip, the tail. Either direction. And then we're going to come to center. Just remember, bring the knees in, bring the head to the knees, just to stretch the upper spine as well. And give ourselves a little hug. So bring the arms around the knees, rock gently from side to side. A nice massage on those parallel muscles down the spine, mid-spine. And then bring the head down. And we're going to bring the right knee into the hands and just lengthen the left leg to the sky. Nice and long, the left leg. Spread the toes nice and wide and just wiggle the toes. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the foot. Just getting that energy moving from the lower meridians, the heart, the kidneys, the liver. And then we're going to push the heel away and let the leg come down. Nice and slow. So we start to feel the energy coming into the lower spine, the tummy, the ribs. And then we can lift the head up to the sky, towards the knee if we want to. We don't have to lift the head if it feels a strain on the shoulders or the neck. If we do, just let my shoulders are nice and relaxed. Look to hover this left leg an inch or two from the ground. Inhaling and exhaling. We can keep the right knee bent. So we might want to lengthen the right leg and bring the hands behind the thigh. Maybe the head was a little bit closer to the knee. Shoulders still relaxing down. Then release the head, bend that knee. Let the head come down, let the left leg come down. I'm going to bring the right knee across the body, just a little more of a twist. Another stretch to the back, another release into the back. So some people find this quite strong, so it feels strong, just change the twist. You can bend the left knee. Let the head roll in the opposite direction. And then come back, bring that hands behind the thigh, flex foot, half happy baby pose, bring the thigh into the body and flex the foot. So we can keep the hands here behind the thigh, or if we can reach up the lower leg, or if you can reach up, or if you've got a belt or something, we can hold the foot. So we want to make sure the shoulders are still relaxed. I feel a nice stretch in my hip, hip and glutes a little bit. And then bring the leg to the body. we can always keep one hand on the left hip and just one hand on this foot, just to stretch the hips, and just see if we can relax the thigh. If we want to add an extra energy boost to the pose, we can just again lift the left leg and hover the left leg from the ground. Make sure the chin is slightly tucking in, so we're not gazing behind the head. We want to be straight up and see more of the front and the back view. And just see if we can relax that right knee a little bit further. Breathing in, breathing out. And we're going to bend the left knee, bring the left foot in. We're going to release the right foot, we're going to change sides. And let this right leg lengthen. So if you want to keep the right leg bent and the foot on the ground, we can do, or we can lengthen it away. And again, a little extra boost is to let the right leg hover from the ground. So either keep hold of the foot or just lengthen the leg, hands behind the left thigh, push the left thigh into the hands, flexing that foot. If you want to put any support onto the head, you start to strain at all, or just let the right leg come down. Adapt the pose. Don't put any tightness into the neck or the shoulders. So nice stretching sensation in the back of the leg. And then release the right leg down, bending this left knee. Bring the right hand to the left knee and draw it over into a twist. So we roll over onto the right hip. Let the head stay gazing towards the left. And again, if you do need to bend this right leg at the bottom, then just bend it, don't worry about it. People find this really strong. So just letting the weight roll over onto that hip, stretching out a little bit more the back body. Big inhale, big exhale. And then the next inhale, roll back onto the back body. Bring both knees in. Again, just a moment for wiggle. Realign everything. And then lengthen both legs to sky. So you can put a band over the ball of the feet and use a band just to encourage that stretch and opening to the hamstrings and the thighs. If you haven't got a belt, you can just hold onto the legs. And if you have got a belt, you can always put it around the back of your head, or you can put your arms through and just find that nice counterbalance. So there's no effort. We're going to breathe here for a few minutes. So I've got my belt handy, so I'll just put it. Just make sure the buckle isn't anywhere near the head. Yeah, don't want the buckle anywhere near the body because it'll be, uncomfortable on the bones. So making the belt and loop as long as you need it. Push the heels away, draw the toes down. So I always feel a nice stretch down that hold my back of the legs. Today it's into my glutes as well, probably for all the walking and cycling this week. So then you should be able to relax the body, relax the arms, you should be able to hang out. As we feel the muscles softening and lengthening, just readjust. Push the heels away, toes tipping down towards the face. You might find after the back of the muscles start to warm up, the head wants to come further towards the earth if we're using our belts or our bands or whatever we're using. And then as the head comes down, the legs come further over. And again, readjust, push the heels away, spread the toes nice and wide. Just a couple more breaths here. And then bring the hands to the belt. If you're using the belt, just remove the belt. And we're going to move into full happy baby pose. So bending the knees. Again, we can have the hands on the thighs, draw the thighs inside the body, or we can hold on to the lower legs. Or if you've got it available, we can just bring the hands on the inside of the sole of the feet. I've got my hands coming up on the inside of the legs, and so the fingers just wrap around the feet, around the sole of the feet. So if you can get the palm and the sole of the feet connect, a little loop of energy from our Padabandha and our Hasabandha connections, energy loops. So flexing the feet, so the soles of the feet face the sky, shoulders relaxing down, and then just be aware of the tail of the spine. So what kind of generally happens is the tail tucks up here. So see if you can lengthen the spine down. So that tail of the spine, feel it lengthening down to the earth. Shoulders relax. If you wanted to lift the head, we could do a little play with that. Or we can just keep it down. We'll just have a little play. Inhaling and exhaling. Little rock from side to side might be nice. And then bring the soles of the feet together, wrap the hands around the toes, take the knees nice and wide to stretch the inner thighs, the inner groin. And again, just rock slightly so we feel the sacrum and the tail of the spine coming down to the earth. If we want to pick the head up, we can do. Have a little play with that. Either keep the feet together or let the legs come nice and wide. Long legs. Push the heels away, put the toes nice and wide again. The head lift up. Always bring the hands through the legs. Drop the fingers maybe. And then release. Bring the arms behind the head, give a little hug. So my idea is to rock up and down, forward and backwards. But if you don't want to rock up and down, it's okay. We're just going to move into a shoulder stand, or more of a snail roll, just to stretch the spine out one more time. So if you want to rock up and down to give the spine a little massage, and it feels okay, hands behind the thighs, lift the head, keep the chin tucked in, and just roll up and down. If it doesn't feel good today, then don't roll, just stay where you are and circle, rock from side to side. If it feels okay, do rock back, bring the hands behind the hips, and just hold the hips and wriggle so that we come the weight onto the shoulders. Head stays nice and centered. Bend the knees, soften the knees, let them come round. It's got a nice round spine. So it's like a yin version of plow. Plow would be right on our shoulders with a straight spine, and the feet would be on the ground. And if you want to go to that where you feel you want to go, then please do. This is aiming just to stretch the spine a little bit more. So on all the meridians that run down the back, the urinary bladder, just to wash out what we don't need, a nice rounded spine. So if you've got it available to, the knees can come either side of the ears. If you don't have a tummy like I do, your knees might come to the ground. But just see what feels good for you. Legs can be straight as well, a little bit straighter. So you don't have to bend the knees too much if you don't want to. You have a little play about bending the knees and straighten the legs. And then we're going to roll and sit up. So you use the hands on the ground and we can roll up all the hands on the body. Rolling up, I'm going to come to a forward seated roll, forward fold. So just the body relax over the legs, little bend or a big bend in the knees, and just release the body. So again, there's a yin version and a yang version. A yin is this nice rounded spine, caterpillar pose. But the yang, the more energetic version, is coming into maybe a dandasana first and then easing forward. So we can always sit on something again to support the spine. that the hips have a nice place to sit. And if you, it depends on how our back is. I've got quite a bendy back, and so I like to walk off my support. It just lets my pelvic area tip forward. So just have a little play with that, and then you can stay nice and tall, or you could reach forward in quite a yang active way. Or you could just let the knees bend and the body can rest down. So just what feels nice for you. Reaching forward, maybe it feels okay. I feel a nice stretch around the back of my thighs. Make sure the back of the knees feel safe. We can always inhale, lift up. And then exhale, reach forward. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, lifting, pausing here. Nice long spine. Let's turn gently to one direction. Back to center and to the other. It's a really nice way to do a twist because we're not forcing anything. You know, the head stays in line. Not forcing anything, just gently turning and twisting. Come forward. We're going to bend the left knee and bring the knee to the side, and the sole of the foot comes on the inside of the foot. We're going to come into, and I can never say this, Janosasana. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't get my head around that word. But it's this one leg forward fold. So if you wanted to use a belt around the ball of the foot, you can do. And you can stay quite tall. Spine could be quite long. Just make sure this left knee feels healthy. If you need to just lengthen it out the side, if it's not a good knee, then you can always just lengthen it. Otherwise, bending the knee and the sole foot comes on the inner thigh as high up to the body as possible. And then we go nice long spine. Inhale, lift, flexing that foot with the toes nice and wide, activate all the meridians. And then exhale, reaching forward. Just go a little bit, don't force anything. If there's any sensations in the back knee, then don't go too far forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reaching forward. If you haven't got a belt handy, you just use the hands on the ground. Don't worry about if you haven't got a belt. Use adapt. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling. As you come down gently this time, forward lengthening, just pause. At that point where we start to feel the edge, where we start to feel it's quite strong. It'll be different for everybody. It'll be different each day. We do this, no doubt, as well. So make sure the lower back feels healthy. Don't strain the back. If you need to come sit straight up and you come with the back, maybe stay long and straight. And then let the body relax down. So the hands can come on the ground. You could be on the leg if that feels better. If you want to be more supportive, you can use a bolster under the body or under the head. Then just let the body lengthen forwards. Maybe gazing towards the toes. Use the breath in a little gentle lift up and the exhale softening forward and down. Make sure we're not forcing the back of the knee. Little bend in the knee if we need. And if we find our hands are coming past the foot, what we can do is walk the hands back slightly, cross over the arms, and then lengthen the arms forward. So we just make sure the spine stays in line and long. And then the hands may want to come around the foot, or even fingers interlocking. Just don't worry about what's happening. Just, feel into your body and make those adaptions. And then very slowly going to come back up. Bring the hands behind the body. Just release that left knee, ground the left foot maybe. Ground the right foot. Windscreen right from side to side. Just checking that right hip. Make sure it feels okay. And then we're going to lengthen the right leg again. Same leg. We're going to come into a twist now. So we're going to bring that left knee to face the sky. we're going to make sure we've got a little hand distance between this foot. I'm going to bend the left elbow. You're going to push the left knee into the left elbow. Make sure they face straight to the sky. If it needs to be further forward, let that happen. Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure we've got a nice long spine and the knee and the arm are facing the sky, and then turn to the right. You can bring that hand around the waist. Maybe it hooks over the thigh. Just make sure this right knee and the toes facing the sky, facing upwards. Breathing, lengthen the spine. Exhale, turning and twisting. So the offer is now to come into a bind. So we can gaze forward, let that left arm reach forward, turn the palm away. Bring the hand behind the back and maybe hold on to our hands, or we can hold on to our belt. And then we lift the spine, lengthen and turn and twist again. So make sure we're not straining the lower back. We want to make sure the right leg is in line with the hips. Turning, twisting, revolving. And take the eyes to the furthest corner of the eye socket. This is good for our liver meridian. So to engage the liver meridian. Also our cleansing system. And then turn forwards, keeping the arm connected. Lengthen the spine forward. Keeping hold to our belt if we need. Gazing towards the toes. And then lengthen back up, release the hands behind the back, take the weight off the legs, and just with the screen wipe, just chill out the knees, the hips, the back. And then we're going to take that to the side, so lengthen the left leg. We adjust our sit bones on our props. We want the hips being able to move forward. And then the right knee now, if our right knee isn't so good, we can just get the right knee, keep it bent and keep that to the side, or it can lengthen. Don't worry about bending the foot in if it's not, I know if you've got an injured knee, you won't be able to do this. So just let the legs stay to one side or long. So if it feels okay, bring the foot on the inner side of the thigh. And again, any problem with our back, we can stay nice and tall here. We can use our belt and stay nice and tall. The belt is over the ball of the foot, toes are nice and active, facing the knees and toes to the sky. Stay here or hinging forward. So again, just the toes lengthening forward. Round the belt around if you need, lengthening forward. Go really slowly, inhale up. Readjust, exhale, lengthening forward. Repeating with the breath in up. Exhale forward. So just focusing on the back of the leg. Make sure the back of the knee feels okay. You can bend the knee if we need. Or just don't go too far down. Just stay long. And then we can just pull on the belt and find that stretch on the back of the calf, maybe the Achilles, the thigh. If it feels okay, lengthening forward and find that edge. Readjust our hands on the belt. We can readjust this right foot if we need. And just watch the sensations of the back of the leg releasing. Then maybe let the hands release down, rest anywhere on the leg or the ground. And just ourselves slide into the pose, very gently, very gradually, not forcing anything. Just noticing and be aware what it feels like on this side of the body. Is this a tighter side or more flexible or open side? So don't force anything. Just ease in. If you want to come across the arms, make sure to keep the spine in line with the leg. We can cross the arms, maybe hold on the foot. Breathe in to any areas of tightness, tension, and just feel that softening, lengthening and opening. And on a breath in, just slowly come up. Going to pick up that right knee, ground the foot, and again we can just bend both knees and just ease out. Make sure it feels okay. And then we're going to come into that twist. We're going to ground the right foot. Make sure we've got a hand distance between the leg and the foot. We're going to bend the right elbow and then pushing that towards the knee. Push the knee into the elbow, turn towards the left. Again, make sure the left knee and toes are facing the sky. Just turning, revolving. So feel the lower spine, the ribs, the upper spine. So we can stay here, or we could bring that left arm around the back and maybe hook it over the thigh and see how that feels. We can always hold on to our trousers or something, or our top, just to check in how the shoulder's feeling, to see if we'd like to try a bind or not. And if we would, face forward, lengthen the right arm forward, turn the palm away, and then bring that arm around the back and hold on to the hands. And then lengthen and lift again as much as we can, turning and twisting around the back. And take the eyes to the furthest corner of the eye sockets, just to stimulate those liver meridians. And then turn forward and lengthen forward, facing, gaze at the toes and lengthen the spine. And then release the hands. Of course, you're going to hold the belt as well, sorry. I'm going to lengthen forward again. Just with the body comfort. Either flop over the knees, knees bent, or legs long, and lengthen forwards. Feet can be hips apart or together. And just maybe observe if there's any difference in our forward fold, forward lengthening, from when we first came into it. Then lengthen up, we're going to cross the ankles and we're going to come into extended child pose. So if you prefer to have the hands under the forehead, we can do. If you prefer to have the knees under the thighs, or in a traditional balasana, which is a forward fold to the spine, we can do. And if you do come with the head on the ground, just gently rock from side to side. Tuning in to how the body's feeling, and maybe just relax here. So if you want to be more yang, you can always lift the palms of the hands, the wrists, the elbows. You might just want to relax and just chill out here. Nice long length to the spine. Just breathing into the base of the spine, grounding the energy, rising back to the earth. And then take another breath in, and we're just going to Start to come onto our knees. We're going to come into cat and cow. So just finding our hands on the shoulders, knees under the hips. As we gaze back, just make sure the feet can't be seen. Move down to sight. I'm going to just breathe here, round on the exhale, round the tail under. Inhaling, tail up, chin up. Any problem with our back, don't just drop the tummy down, keep it nice and neutral, straight. Just exhale, rounding up. And I'm going to tuck the toes. I'm going to move into down dog. So get the knees bent, push the bottom back, and let the body just rest to the thighs. Check the fingers and spread nice and wide on the hand, distribute the weight. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Tummy draws in. And lengthen one leg, nice and slow. So it can still be bent. Let the weight come onto that foot and that hand. And then lift it up and change sides. Slowly slither the weight over the other foot. Lift both heels up. Exhale both heels towards the earth. Little bend or a big bend in the knees. Just want a nice long spine. Let all the energy flow freely. Breathing here. So we can stay nice and still, or we can rock forward into plank. Shoulders over the wrists, push the heels away, tummy drawing in. And exhale, down dog. Inhaling forward. Drop the knees if we need. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Pausing back. Bend the left knee. Step the left foot forward and meander forward into forward dangling. We're walking the feet forward. Body releasing. So we can really bend the knees, let the elbows rest on the thighs and support the spine. Or we can let the arms dangle down and move from side to side. If you're not feeling too well today, we can just keep the feet facing forward and stay in that half forward fold. Or we can just release down. Knee with the elbow, come behind the legs, maybe just draw the head in. Little bend in the knees or a big bend in the knees. Just feel the spine releasing. Feet can be as wide as the mat, they can be as wide as the hips, or we could bring the feet together. It all depends how it feels on your body and your back. And also, if we've got low energy, you want the feet to be as wide as the hips at least. We're going to bend the knees, going to let the bottom drop down, move the arms up the knees to chair pose, Utkatasana, chair. Shoulders relax down, gaze up to the sky and push with the feet, rising up. Nice and slow, pausing here, shoulders roll down the back. Let the arms come out, down to the side body, and pause in mountain pose. So just checking the shoulders relaxing from the ears. Inhaling, exhaling. Checking the feet. You may want to just readjust the feet, hips apart, and just check the toes. Spread the toes nice and wide, lift the toes, and see if we can ripple the toes, find that space between. So we can lift up little big toe to little toe, and little toe to big toe. Just find that rooting down. Feel how the body feels. sense how it feels in Tadasana, mountain pose. So I'm going to just move into triangle. So the right leg's going to go back, stepping it back. Just move my mat. You want the feet to be as wide as another set of trousers. But make sure you feel centered. You feel in control, you're not overextending. So the front foot is facing forward, back foot slightly turning in. But feel the edge of the feet, so really feel the back of the edge of the foot grounding. Feel the toes spread nice and wide, rooting on both feet. Lift the arches up, lift the arms up to shoulder height. Shoulders relax from the ears and reaching forward to that front leg. Pause. Lengthen, exhale, reach forward. And drop the hand down onto the leg. It can be the thigh, it can be on the inside of the thigh or on the lower leg. Or if you've got a stool, we can put a stool on the outside of the leg, here. And we lift the top arm. So I'll just use my stool. So just find what feels good. Stick it to my mat. I'm going to wash that today. You can always use a stool or support on the outside just to let the hand have somewhere to rest. So we can always put some here and lift the top arm to the sky. Just make sure the shoulders relax. Any problem with our shoulder, the arm can stay down. So just a nice stretch to the side body. So again, just make sure the feet, toes are nice and wide, rooting to the earth. Lift the arch. As we lift the arch, we feel the mullah bandha engaging and lengthening. And then push the back foot to the ground, rising up and reverse. Gaze the top fingers, soften the back shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale to center, arms to the height, turn the feet, rotating. And again, we can use our stool on the other side if you wanted to. Both legs nice and straight, arms to shoulder height, reaching forward. Feel the back foot grounding, the outside of the back foot grounding, reach forward. Drop the hand down onto our stool, our blocks, lift the top arm to the sky, or the hand on the leg, and ease in. So don't worry about how far down we go. It's all about making sure we feel safe, in control. Nice stretch inside the body. Tummy, feel the tummy drawing in, so we feel engaged on the tummy. Back leg nice and straight, front leg nice and straight. Gaze the top fingers. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale, push the back foot to the earth, rising up. 10 toes in. I'm going to step forward back to mountain pose. And I'm stuck to my mat, so. Oh dear. Right, so back to mountain. Again, reconnect the feet to the earth. Oh. Toes spread nice and wide. I'll come off my mat. So really feel the left foot ground. You're going to come into a tree pose. So we can just ground and feel the right toes connecting. Connect the left heel, come on the lower leg. We can have the hands to the hips, or we can bring the hand, the foot on the calf, or the foot on the inner thigh. Want to have the foot facing down the leg. We go by a wall. So you can use a wall for support. It's all about bone strength and density, so it's really good to stand on this leg. So make sure the toes spread nice and wide. Feel the edge of the feet grounded, the arch lifting. As we lift the arch, what we see the Mula Bandha rise with the energy of the body. And we can lift the arms to the sky, reaching our branches to the sky. Feel the ears lifting up, find that distance between the shoulders and the ears. Ooh. My balance is not with me today. If you want to bring the hands together in steeple pose, we can do. And actually lean on the wall. Well done, you're doing brilliant. And then just feel the tummy drawing in. Nice strong energy around the tummy, around the leg, knees open to the side, opening our hips. Like a lightning bolt to the sky. Moving the hands back to the heart center. Little bend in that standing leg, bring the foot onto the thigh. I'm just going to drop down a little bit just to have a stretch in the glute. So your hands can be on the leg. We can rest the hands on the heel and the knee. Or we can bring our elbows on, our hands together. Or our hands can be on the ground if that feels good. Just stretching out the bottom, the glute and the muscle, the deep psoas muscle, the piriformis muscle, sorry. And then we're going to lengthen up and we're going to just pause in mountain just to get readjusted back to the earth. Noticing what sensations are from one side of the body to the other side. And then we'll take that to the leg. So again, we can keep the heel on the lower leg, or on the calf, or on the upper thigh. You can use a belt as well. If you've got slippy leggings on, it is helpful to use our belt. Just hooking it around, and it just gives a little bit more of a grip. So we could hold the belt, or we could put the belt over and wrap it around our shoulder. And the knees coming out to the side. And then when we've got where we want to be, when we've grown our tree, we can lift our branches, the hand can stay parallel, or we can insert the fingers into a steeple pose and just checking the knees open to the side, really good for our pelvic area. Breathing here. So feel the energy coming through the arch of the foot, our Pada Bandha connection with the earth. Rising up the legs, the tummy. Now bring the energy back to the heart. Bend that standing knee. Bring the foot across the thigh and just drop down a little bit or a lot. All the way down. Just to stretch out the muscles we've been using. And then we're going to release both feet, come back to dangling. And then when we're ready, we're going to come down onto our backs just for the last few minutes in relaxation. If there's anything you want to do when you come down, if you want to move, twist the body, bring the knees in, rock and roll, just find your connection. Bring any blankets or pillows just to relax down. Taking our time, just reconnect to the earth. We can keep the knees bent for a while. We can even bring the feet together and the knees can be wide. You want to stretch the thighs a little bit more. We have stretched them out just now, so it's what feels good for you. And then maybe just feel the shoulder blades underneath, open the heart. Leg can be bent or they can be long. We put bolster under the thighs if we've got any niggles in our back. Just let the spine just find a comfortable place. I'm just going to bring right hand up to the face and just let the thumb and little finger rest against the nostrils. Just going to move through alternative nostril breathing. So we close the right nostril and we slowly breathe in with the left. And then we breathe out for the left. So we're breathing in and then out to each nostril, nice and slow. Before we change nostrils. Slightly close the back of the throat to that Ujjayi breath, just to soothe the mind. Relax the body. If we don't have any eye problems, heart or blood problems, we could keep both nostrils closed between the exchange and just pause and feel the energy vibrating in the body. Only if it feels safe to do so. Just until we're ready to release down. When you're ready to release down, just let the arms relax. Feel the whole body relaxing against the earth. Each breath out, just feel the body sinking down an inch into the earth. The back body sinking down. Mind and body still like a lake. Dive deep within. To find your inner peace. Your true self. Your bliss. Namaste.